Flagstaff. I am Reverend Penny Honey. Today we will start our service with beautiful meditation music performed by Wiley Beveridge. I want to see it right. Enjoy.
I want to see things right. No need to set things right. I will forgive myself. I will see things right. I want to see things right. No need to set things right. I will forgive myself. I will see things right. Jesus, brother and way sure, Christ within, revealing the kingdom within me. Jesus, brother and way sure, Christ within, revealing the kingdom within me. I want to see things right. No need to set things right. I will forgive myself. I will see things right. I will see things right.
Wiley, thank you. We appreciate your talent. We appreciate your music. We appreciate your presence. It is always a gift to have you join us. Thank you. And to see more of our musicians here at Unity of Flagstaff, go to our website at www.unityofflagstaff.org. There's a music page there. Check that out. Everything that's going on in the ministry and all the things that we are involved in can also be found there on our website. And thank you again for your continued support for this thriving ministry. You can donate on the donate page on the website at www.unityofflagstaff.org. There's also an address there on the donate page if you would prefer to mail your contribution in. Again, we thank you for your continued support. And speaking of support, we have that ongoing food drive with the Flagstaff Family Food Center. 80% increase in the services that they are now offering. So please be generous with your non-perishables. Drop them here at the sanctuary, 1800 South Milton, Suite 103, our beautiful spiritual church home. And if we're not open, you can always leave them at the box outside the door. So thank you for that. Hey, those of you who haven't had the chance to look at your newsletter, check it out. There's an opportunity to submit recipes. We're going to have a Unity of Flagstaff cookbook. Feed your soul and nourish your body. That's what we're going to do by sharing our favorite recipes. That information is in the newsletter. You'll also find that on our website, so check that out. If you don't get the newsletter, let me know. office@unityofflagstaff.org. You could also send your recipes there. So my friends, we now are going to enjoy the fabulous music of Trina Getz as she performs the Jana Stanfield song, Listen for the whispers. Enjoy.
I tune in to the experts on all the TV shows. I read the books that tell me all the things that I should know. I ask my friends what they think of the things I'm going through. When no one has the answers, I know what to do. I listen for the whisper deep down inside. I listen for the whisper, strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ear. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can hear. The other voices tell me that I'm not good enough to win the peace of mind. They say that I'm not worthy of. And though they shout so loudly, sometimes I can hardly think. I know where to turn to find the source of my strength. I listen for the whisper deep down inside. I listen for the whisper, a strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ear. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can hear. The whisper holds the answer, it's up to me to ask. I wonder why so often the thing that I do last is listen for the whisper deep down inside. I listen for the whisper, a strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ear. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can. Listen for the whisper deep down inside. I listen for the whisper, the strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ear. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can hear.
I want to see things right. The Christ within revealing the kingdom within me. Listen for the whispers. It's right there. Listening and realizing that the universe is always revealing options to us and will guide us to our highest expression. It will move us out of indecision, mental confusion, move us out of fear of what might happen. And if we are deliberate with our thoughts, our desires, and our intentions, I think that wraps it up for this message. Well, not completely, of course. Today's message is entitled, What Happens in Vagueness Stays in Vagueness. Ever find yourself not being clear? Now making a real good bet. What happens in vagueness stays in vagueness. With yourself, with others. Ever find yourself not able to be clear with the universe? Ever waver on the simplest or sometimes even the most complicated decisions or directions? Being deliberate in knowing where you're going and what you expect to have happen. Has the act of not being deliberate in your life had an impact? And what kind of impact is that? Consider that for a moment. When you have been unclear or you have been vague, how has that impacted your life? Deliberate. The definition of deliberate is this: done consciously and intentionally. As a verb, it means to engage in long and careful consideration. In Latin, it is deliberatus, resolved upon, determined. Deliberate. And have you noticed that when we break the word deliberate down, that hidden in there is the word liberate? Have you noticed that? I think there's a hint of the power of deliberate in there for us. Can being more deliberate in your life liberate you from getting tripped up and making decisions, getting tripped up and navigating in waters that we are certainly not familiar with? Or just maybe navigating life in general? Deliberate is a powerful word when it's put into action. You can be deliberate in moving forward. You can be deliberate in stalling. You can even be deliberate in moving backwards. Deliberate means intentional action. Using the power and the practice of intention with deliberation, with being deliberate, can create a pretty amazing life. Now, I want to be very clear. I want to be very deliberate with this information. The deliberate that we're talking about here is not about acquiring a beautiful 4x4 F-150 in my driveway. Not such a bad idea, but that's not the deliberate that we're talking about today. This is not about how to manifest things or circumstances, like, say, the law of attraction. This is not that. Consider this more like the law of getting traction. Consider that as we talk about this. This is deeper than just making manifest, as we like to say, a new thought. It's about being deliberate in our knowing, in our thoughts, in our intentions about how we want to show up and how we express. This is deeper than making manifest, as we like to say, a new thought. It's about being deliberate in our knowing, in our thoughts, in our intentions. Deliberate in knowing who we want to express in the world, so that we are aligned with the desire of the universe to give us the kingdom. And the metaphysical definition of kingdom is dominion. To start to have dominion over the things that separate us from who we are. The real expression, the God expression of who we are. That's the kind of deliberate we're talking about. That's it. And once we have seen it right, as Wiley reminded us, who knows? Who knows what the universe will make manifest with us? Because after all, the universe only says yes. It only says yes. Who knows? Maybe that F-150 will show up in my driveway once I have been deliberate about owning and claiming that I am a divine child of God, and so are you. Who knows? Now, we have a big election coming up, for those of you who might not be aware of that. We have a big election coming up. We cast our votes, and it is my prayer that you do so or have done so, get those ballots in, that we have discerned and we have declared the candidate based on the greatest outcome for our country. And that every inhabitant in this country is being blessed by true democracy. When you cast your vote with that deliberate intention, now we are claiming the power of being deliberate. Now we are standing in the presence of who we are, and that is a divine child of God. This isn't about who to keep or who to throw out. It's not about that. This is the kind of being deliberate that declares what we see for the greater good. The kind that invites us into seeing beyond the immediate noise and the chaos and the fear. The kind of deliberate decision-making that requires thinking. And thinking, as Charles Fillmore tells us in The Revealing Word, is this: the inlet and the outlet of all your ideas. That's thinking. Now, thinking, according to Charles, can be a little active and zealous and sometimes a little impulsive. Been there, done that, right? But not always wise. That's what Charles says. Thinking is not always wise. And if you are ignorant, he says, and of course ignorant means the lack of knowledge, the lack of information or awareness about a particular thing. So if you are ignorant to your position in the world as a divine child of God, if you are ignorant to that truth, that you are one with God and one with the God mind, you stand meekly by and you let unsifted thoughts drive your decisions and your desires and your directions. Wise words, Chuck. Thank you for that. However, your thinking doesn't have to be overly zealous and impulsive. It could be, as the Metaphysical Dictionary tells us, that thinking is the movement of ideas. They could be deliberate, definite ideas. It is our ignorant thinking that causes us to get out of harmony, to be overzealous. That causes us to get out of harmony with all that waits for us as divine children of God. It is ignorant thinking to be taken down the rabbit hole of sound bites and news flashes and political ads. Now, there's some ignorant thinking. That's ignorant thinking, uninformed, not knowing, not having the knowledge. Now, here's the secret. You know that vagueness we were talking about? That is part of the ignorant thinking. When we recognize and we claim that we are one with the God mind, we can stand confident, we can stand confident and safe and knowing in our deliberate proclamations, in our deliberate discernment. We can be deliberate in all things. You know, it comes back to what Emily Cady reminds us of in Lessons of Truth. She says, understanding of the creative power of thought and its relationship to God mind and to manifesting is the healing balm for every inharmony. Think about that. The healing balm for all of it. Even this time, even this place in history, in our lives. And I'm not just talking about a pandemic. I'm talking about what we are knowing about our lives right now. Could you use a little healing balm? The understanding of the creative power of thought and its relationship to God, mind, and manifesting. The healing balm. See, being deliberate with our thoughts when we're so distracted by things that are going on, by what we think we want, when we're deliberate in our thoughts that we are one with God, that becomes very quiet. All that chaos and that distraction becomes quiet. To be deliberate in what our expression is and to keep returning to clearly claiming, I am a divine child of God. I am one with the God mind. How could could we not then be pulling right into the drive-thru where we can be loaded up with that dominion over our negative thoughts, over the things that separate us? How could we not be in that line? And maybe by aligning with that truth, deliberately living and acting, well, how about unity principle number 5? Through our thoughts, words, and actions, we live the truth we know. That just may result in a healed life, in a healed world, a healed system, a clear direction that we are to go and be, because we have committed to being deliberate and claiming for ourselves that we are one with God. The truth of who we are. Just like we're reminded in principle number 2, we are the essence of God. In your hearts right now, affirm this with me. Let me be perfectly clear. I am a divine child of God. I live like that. I love like that. I think like that. I act like that. I am a divine child of God. Let me be perfectly clear about that. Now, the challenge with that vagueness around this truth is the vagueness gets to be right. Because the universe doesn't have an opinion about this. The universe loves us that much. God loves us that much. No opinion about that. And your vagueness will continue to be right. It will continue to be the expression of who you are. And the universe will wait. And it won't have an opinion about that. So go ahead. I encourage you to be deliberate about manifesting money, about manifesting that perfect job, about creating that amazing family. Be deliberate with those. I'm not discouraging us from not being deliberate about those things. What I am inviting you into is this. Notice when you manifest those things in your life, just for a moment, just notice. Did you have the thought, I deserve this? Did you have the thought, I've earned this? You are now aligning with and getting more in alignment with who you are, because you do deserve it. Because you have declared and defined your oneness with God. Whether that was the clear, deliberate intention that you made or not. Holding the consciousness, I deserve this, is part of the secret of aligning with and owning that oneness with God. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine? If we're manifesting things in our life, and we feel pretty good about that, and I say yay us, but we're manifesting things in our life, even though we're not really clear or wholly deliberate in owning that we are a child of God. And I don't know about you, but my deliberateness about that waves in and out and in and out a little bit. And I manifest and I think, whoa, I deserve that. I am a divine child of God, and then I don't. And then I don't hold that deliberate thought. Have you ever noticed how those parallel? Can you imagine what we would co-create if we listened to the whispers of our heart? Can you imagine what we would co-create if we started with the deliberate thought, I'm a divine child of God, I am one with the mind of God? I mean, look how much we're already creating. Think about that. And how do we navigate being deliberate while also being detached with the outcome? Or how about this one? Big one for me. How do I remain deliberate in my thoughts and my intentions and not tell the universe how to provide it for me? How do I do that? So what came for me is in a process, in this process of this message is this. Because I am committed to being deliberate about owning my oneness with God, with Source, I no longer have to be troubled with telling the universe what I want it to look like, because I already know I am absolutely a child of God. I deserve what I deserve, and it's okay for me to want that and be that. I don't have to question or tell the universe how to bring it to me or what to bring to me, because my deliberate intention is that I own my oneness. That's my intention. No vagueness, no questions, just a really cool life. Just a really cool life. And we can start to see so clearly when we get out of the noise and the confusion, and we go back to just affirming and knowing and aligning with our oneness and knowing that we are one with the mind of God. One. And when I fully and deliberately own that about myself, I can fully and deliberately own that about you. And that is a healing balm. Thank you. Namaste. And now we will enjoy the music of Sean Dennehy. He will be performing one of my favorite songs, I Can See Clearly Now. Thank you.
Hello everybody, Sean here. Really miss you all. I wish I could be there playing for you. I'm going to play a song called I Can See Clearly Now. I've played it for Unity before. I learned it at Penni's request, and it's now one of my favorite songs to play. I think it's a song about, just having a good attitude on life, and something that I really work on every day. And hopefully this song will cheer you up a little, or just make your already great day a little bit better.
I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can take it now, the pain is gone. All of the